you have to realize this blew my fucking mind at the time. It shattered my reality because I had spent years with a certain paradigm around addiction, that I was powerless against the addictive forces of nicotine and alcohol. But then I read a couple of books and everything changes. And then I'm thinking, well, if cigarettes and alcohol don't have the hold on me, which I thought they did, what else about life have I got completely wrong, right?
Snooka loopy nuts away, we're all snooka loopy. They say that we are drowning in information, but starved for wisdom. You feel it, right? You pick up your phone just to check the time. 40 minutes later, you're still scrolling through TikTok, looking at women in bikinis or whatever else floats your boat. You try to read, but your mind's darting around like a hummingbird on Red Bull. In a world designed to hijack your attention, there is one old school tool which still holds the key to clarity, growth, and freedom. I am, of course, talking about reading physical books. Hello, my name is Lee Davey. I am not an alcoholic. I refuse to be anonymous. I live a self-led life, alcohol-free as fuck, and I spend every day helping other people do the same, like right now. Welcome to the 1000 Days Sober Daily Podcast, where I turn up every single day in the hope that you will join me and make the vow to not drink alcohol today for no other reason than you can fucking do it, right? I got your back. I know you can do it. You look in the mirror and you say the same to yourself, right? Today, we're going to talk about books. It's an idea that was sparked by walking around the lovely streets of Cardiff, listening to Johann Hari in my earhole talking about Stolen Focus, which is his latest book. And one of the insights that hit me, and I took a little note on my phone, was the power of reading physical books as an antidote to distraction. And given the world that we're living in, we all need a little bit of a distraction away. Well, we need an antidote to our distraction, right? So going to talk about books, not Kindle, not audiobooks, not 50-minute Blinkist summaries, just real books, paper, ink, no notifications, no dopamine drip, just you, me, and the page. Well, not me, just you and the page. And I can back that up, right? A quarter of a century ago, oh my God, I'm really old. A quarter of a century ago, I was absolutely hooked on smoking cigarettes. I was trying every single day to stop smoking and I just couldn't do it, right? I would go into work, I would give my cigarettes away. I'd be like, right, I'm fucking done. And by the end of the day, I'd be begging people to give me a cigarette, right? And then one day, a supervisor who was working for me, his name was Dave, we smoked together quite consistently and he refused a cigarette. And I'm like, Dave, what's going on? And he said, I've quit. It's like, how have you quit? He said, well, you never believe it. My wife stopped smoking after reading a book. And I just picked it up thinking this must be a con. And I don't want to smoke. I can't explain it. And I said, what book is it? And he said, Alan Carr's Easy Way to Stop Smoking Permanently. So I bought it. And once I finished it, I haven't craved a cigarette again. Listen to that. I didn't say I haven't had a cigarette. I haven't, but I haven't never craved. So in 24 years, actually, I've never craved a cigarette. Yet prior to reading a book, I thought I was hopelessly addicted. A decade after that, when my marriage was in tatters, as long-time listeners of this podcast will know, I actually went to a bookstore, which is closed down now, and I bought How to Control Alcohol by Alan Carr. I didn't need it. If I'm being honest, my mind was already made up that I was going to quit alcohol, be alcohol free as fuck. But I read the book anyway. Same result, right? I quit alcohol and I got to say, I found it similarly to smoking after reading the book really easy. Now, you have to realize this blew my fucking mind at the time. It shattered my reality because I had spent years with a certain paradigm around addiction, that I was powerless against the addictive forces of nicotine and alcohol. But then I read a couple of books and everything changes. And then I'm thinking, well, if cigarettes and alcohol don't have the hold on me, which I thought they did, what else about life have I got completely wrong, right? So here I was 35 years of age, right? 2 Alan Carr books under my belt, realizing that the things I thought that owned my soul didn't. And it flipped my entire worldview when I said, right? And at that moment, it sparked a question that I still ask myself today. If I was wrong about alcohol and cigarettes, what else in life am I wrong about? And I want you to take a moment and let that question land, because we will be right back after a short break. So welcome back to the Strive Daily Podcast, the 1000 Days Sober Podcast. And I want to go deeper into that question I left you with before the break. Because the moment you crack open a book with an open mind, you might just crack open your entire life, right? At 35 years of age, I read these 2 books, blow my mind, like I said. And I was like, okay, I'm going to make a commitment. I'm going to read 52 books in 52 weeks. And I did. I created a website, it doesn't exist anymore, and I put all the 52 books up there. I journaled on them and shared my notes with people who were following me at the time. And I got to say, it changed my life. Book by book, it rebuilt my mind. I learned about trauma, human behavior, identity, ego, internal family systems, sex, intimacy, money, power dynamics, leadership. I learned how humans operate, starting with myself, how humans completely fuck up all the time, definitely starting with myself. And reading, it gave me all that knowledge, but more. It gave me stillness. And in that stillness, I heard my own voice, myself speaking to me from deep inside, hidden beneath all the inner child traumatic parts that had been ruling my life for 35 years. Now, fast forward to today, and reading is a really important part of my nightly ritual, 1 hour every night without fail. Right now, I'm reading How to Do the Work by Dr. Nicole LePera, and I'm reading Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. 1 non-fiction book and 1 fiction book, because I want both insight in my life and imagination. So if you want to live a self-led life, alcohol-free as fuck, I cannot recommend this path highly enough, right? Educate yourself, not through TikTok and Instagram quotes. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but when we're talking about focus, uninterrupted focus, deep, uninterrupted focus, I'm talking about books, right? Because when you can focus, you can choose. And when you can choose, you're free. You get me? Because at the moment, we're choosing to drink alcohol, but are we really choosing? Are we really, right? Let's get that focus back. Let's get in the game so we can make a conscious decision about whether we want to drink alcohol or not, all right? Okay, on to today's vow. I will not drink today because I choose to feed my mind instead of numbing it. You do not need to read 52 books in a year to change your life like I did, but you just need to read the right one. And sometimes that book leads to another, which leads to another, which leads to another, and suddenly you're no longer parts led, deep with alcohol reliance, but you are living a self-led life, a life that is alcohol-free as fuck, 1 chapter at a time. Okay, if today's message landed for you, please rate and review the podcast. Please subscribe, really important. You might be following me, but you haven't subscribed. If you could subscribe, I'll give you a big kiss. There you go. All right. If you want to try the Strive Method, our 6-month flagship program that will help you to live a self-led life, alcohol-free as fuck, email me at thestrivemethod@gmail.com and we'll set that up for you, right? We'll set that up and you can trial the first week for free. Okay. Until tomorrow, much love, strive on. And remember, today, do not drink alcohol. Take the vow that you will not drink today, because you are going to choose to feed your mind instead of numbing it. All right. See you tomorrow, folks.